I wasn't planning to give her another chance, not after the lies, the late-night messages she hid, the sudden work dinners, and the coldness that replaced the love we once had, but sometimes your heart wants closure more than revenge, so I asked her one last time, face to face, looking straight into her eyes at our dining table, tell me the truth, is there someone else? And she didn't hesitate, didn't flinch, she just laughed, that cruel little scoff like I was nothing but entertainment to her, and said, if you're so insecure, maybe you should leave, like my pain was a joke, like she never promised forever, never begged me to build a future with her, and something in me snapped calm that night, not rage, just clarity, the kind that hurts worst because it's quiet. I stood up, nodded, and said softly, all right. You chose your truth. Tomorrow, reality chooses you, and she rolled her eyes, smirked, poured herself another glass of wine, and walked away humming like she'd won. I didn't yell, didn't beg, didn't argue. I simply walked into my office, opened my laptop, and started moving files. Not my business files, hers. The company she worked for? I built it. She never told her secret boyfriend that. She never expected that the IT guy she joked about dating was also the founder hiding behind investors and silent partnership agreements. I hired her myself 3 years ago because I saw brilliance in her, not knowing she would use it to manipulate, flirt her way into influence, and play queen in a kingdom she never knew I owned. She thought I was just her successful boyfriend with a comfortable life. She never bothered to ask where my money came from, because arrogance makes smart people stupid. By midnight I had the evidence ready, her leaked confidential messages, the company accounts she accessed and forwarded to her lover who worked for a competitor, the passwords she shared, the screenshots of her mocking the business and bragging she could run circles around the idiots in charge. It wasn't just cheating. It was corporate betrayal. She wasn't just unfaithful. She was leaking strategy plans to impress a man who promised her a position in his firm. The idiot didn't hide his number. Amateurs always think they're geniuses when they're lying. The next morning she woke up stretching like a cat in silk sheets, clueless that her world was already cracking. She came downstairs with that smug smirk she always had when she thought she had emotional power over me, and she didn't even notice I was dressed formal, suitcase packed. Running away, she teased. I looked at her the way you look at someone you once loved but now only pity. No. I'm going to work. You might want to get ready too. Big day. She raised an eyebrow but shrugged, still full of her own ego, grabbed her phone, kissed her screen at some message from her secret lover, and walked into the bathroom still humming. At 9:15 a.m. she walked into the office like she always did, heels sharp, confidence louder than her perfume, expecting admiration and whispers, but the moment she stepped inside, silence fell. People turned, not with respect, but with pity and shock. HR was standing there. Security too. Her smile trembled. What's going on? She asked, still trying to sound strong. My CFO handed her the documents. Her face turned white. Unauthorized data sharing, breach of confidentiality, formal investigation. I stepped out of the boardroom right then, slow and calm, watching her eyes widen like she'd seen a ghost. She shook her head, whispering, You? I nodded. No anger. Just truth. You laughed last night, I reminded her quietly, so life decided to speak today. She reached for me, panic finally replacing arrogance. Wait, baby, please, I can explain, but the word baby sounded cheap now, artificial, and I gently pulled my arm back. Explain to the board. Explain to the lawyers. Explain to yourself why you destroyed the only life that was real. Tears streamed down her face as security escorted her out, not yelling, not fighting, just breaking silently, because humiliation hits harder when you know you earned it. Her secret boyfriend tried to call her, I know, because his number flashed across her screen while she sobbed in the lobby. I picked up the phone from her shaking hand. She won't be joining your company, I told him calmly. She won't be joining any for a while. A pause, then his panicked voice, Who are you? I smiled, not cruelly, just honestly. The man she underestimated. Then I blocked his number. She collapsed in the parking lot crying, mascara running, hands shaking, begging me not to leave her like this. I looked at her one last time. There was no joy in watching her fall. Only closure. I didn't ruin you, I said quietly. You laughed at loyalty and chose betrayal. This is the cost. She tried to grab my hand again, desperate now, no pride left. Please don't go, I love you. I shook my head. You loved power. You loved attention. You loved winning. You never loved me. I walked away and didn't look back, because sometimes revenge isn't flames and shouting, it is truth served cold and professionalism sharper than anger. By evening she had lost her job, her reputation, her boyfriend, her future plan, and the fantasy world she thought she controlled. And me? I didn't celebrate. I just sat alone in my new apartment with quiet peace and a glass of water, realizing something important. The real power was not destroying her. It was walking away knowing I never needed to betray myself to get justice. I gave her one last chance. She laughed. Life answered for me.